Amharic Quantum.
Yeah.
You see, Amharic, I put the definition for Amharic up there.
Easy.
Yeah, I had to put some of it because I wanted to explain certain things, and the Canaanite form of Hebrew, they're passing as Hebrew. And I know that that's not so, because a real Hebrew language, it have to match Isaiah 11, where this speech is coming from, according to the 7 spirits of the Lord, in the 7 vowel system, 7 columns, and of Revelation 1 verse 8. Because Alpha and Omega simply means, is the name of God. And it means the Ge'ez alphabet table from Aleph to Tau.
Tell me, tell me, what are we without a religion? What are we without a culture? What are we without a language? What are we? Tell me, please, don't tell me. We have no history, don't tell me. We have no philosophy, don't tell me. We have no song, don't tell me. We can't come along, don't tell me. We have no king on the throne, oh no.
Well, I forgot, we can just run over the theme still, because even though we are celebrating the child here at 10, he's the master of letters. He's the one who didn't go to secondary school according to Abte Akilil, the head of the University of Addis Ababa, Haile Selassie University, when it was called that way. We saw him in an interview for the Smithsonian. So he's the one at 10, he knew the alphabet, he knew Ge'ez, he knew Amharic, and the special handwriting skill, Tenikiko, or Tenikik. He knew all of that. So his role now in educating Ethiopia, as you know, say this are the source for all alphabets, the Abegede, the A, B, C, D, or the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta. This is the source for it. So, because of his intelligence now, born from the house of Solomon, he had a certain ability that nobody else has. Right? So, when we read the book of Revelation, and what John saw in the book of Revelation, I think at chapter 5, he that sat on the throne had in his right hand a book. He had a book in his right hand, right, that was sealed inside and outside. Yeah, I use the Amharic translation because when I check the English, it's not saying anything. And I think they deliberately do that. Right? The book written inside and outside, sealed with 7 seals. Right? And nobody was found to open the seal. As the English say, to break, to loosen the seals, the 7 seals thereof. But the Amharic said use the word break, to break the seals. And then I said, okay, so ask any truck driver when them put a seal on your thing, if you not break it.
Yeah.
If you lose it, you can't. It go open, the door go open. Yeah.
It's very important, especially when you do shipping and receiving.
Yeah, you have to break the seal.
Yeah, the seal have to stay a seal until it
Till
reaches.
Yeah.
to that person who has
Yeah.
the authority
To break
open.
the seal. And the method to break the,
Yeah,
break the
yeah.
seal.
Okay. You have to
Which
break-
is the ability
to open it.
to open the
Yeah, you have to.
you can't lose it.
No, you have to have that special tool that it calls for to open
Yeah.
that seal.
Yeah, so I put this part of Revelation here.
Go again.
No, from Revelation 1 to 3 to open a book, which is I put up there on the Metzahaf Mekefecha, which is the means or the key to open and explain the meaning of a book as is the Bible. So this king on the throne, the book was in his right hand. Remember, the right hand of God is the Father. Yeah. But he had the book in his right hand that nobody seemed to understand. But I found it's not, loose, but break. And the word for breaking the seal, fetet, I checked the root word of it. It means to break the communion bread. That's the first meaning, right? And the second meaning is to explain the Old and the New Testament, and to read the Old and New Testament and have the ability to explain it. So when I read that, I said, but that's to break the communion bread. Well, that's what him and the Empress was doing.
Yes.
Yeah, see them communion robe still a show under the so.
Prior to the
Yes, the thing coming out. Yeah. So that's the book is the Bible. Because this part here, Revelation 1 and 3, to open the book. Blessed is he that read concerning all the prophecies of this book, for the time is at hand. And likewise blessed are they that hear the word. Not words, as in the English, the words. We know because it tell you. Ye tin beat kal. Ye me semuna. Kal is the second person of the Trinity. Yeah. Not words. Yeah. Kal. Yeah, there it is. Ye hulu ye mi fetsem bet gize. Kirib silehone. Ye hin ye tin beat metzahaf. Ye mi ya neb. To read. Blessed is he that read. And hindi whom likewise tin beat kal. Yemi semuna. Be metz hafum wust. Yete sefawun. Yemi fetsemu. Yete bareku na chao. Yeah, the written in the book. The language of the book. Them couldn't read the language of the book. None of them could. No Ethiopian. Nobody could read the language. The book was written in a language that they could not read. And it's sealed by the seven spirits. That's the seal. The sevenfold spirits. Three of them, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The Emperor says, see the speech where I put it here? Knowledge is a treasure that must be grasped and which no one can confiscate. So you have a guy who want to take away knowledge from you to keep you under control. So it is a diamond without price which prevents the breaking of heaven's decrees and preserve from the path of destruction. Knowledge allow you to inherit the kingdom of God, which is the mind of man cannot conceive. That means, go back to say, they can't open it. And is a counselor in time of adversary. So may God grant you to attain wisdom and knowledge, such as I have described. So I can see that this is coming straight from Isaiah chapter 11. Yeah. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Yeah, straight from there. So that the theme we want to lay down, the knowledge, or the book was written in a language that none of them could read, and an Ethiopian told me that the priests them recite Ge'ez, but only Haile Selassie is fluent. Only him, a fluency of Ge'ez. Everybody else recited.
So it's what did happen coming down through the time why it's just very, very few people apart from everybody else.
Because a guy named illiteracy want to confiscate the knowledge, the treasure,
Remember, said things
and him keep the people down. And him bring lie into the knowledge
Yeah.
and destroy the nature of Ge'ez, the nature of children. A guy named illiteracy. They were real up against the child and his
Move us
mother,
away from the love of God.
which is the love of knowledge.
Yeah.
Nothing have to do with God and His word and the truth.
Yeah, but you see, I'm going to show you what the Ethiopian them actually do. Because, I don't agree with get that through a song. Just was trying to find that page. Rasteferiyan. Yes, he's the one that opened the book. The book that was written and the language where it's written in. Because the Amharic gives you the direct to it.
Yeah. Keeping in mind that it's a direct language,
And to understand it.
Yeah.
Sema, Semu, they that heard. Sema goes to understand, or to understand a language. That's what Sema means. Yeah, and Yiti Gebau is to understand, not to lose, is to understand the language of the book. And to know the person who opened the book. And we know from history, from reality, because here's the book above his heraldry. There it is. With his name on it. Just like he told John in the Revelation, I am the Alpha and Omega. I am able to open the book. Here it is, Revelation 5. Bezian Gize, Keshimagale, Wachuke, Andu Atalikis. Yeah, we, not one of the elders, say, at that time, Eneho, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, has prevailed. Right? So he has prevailed. Mesafunna, Sebatumai Temoch, Mekifet Yichilal Alinia. So, say the suffix pronoun on Ale, the possessive, to have, or to possess. I possess the ability, Yichilal, to open it. He possess, I, Alinia. He possessed the ability to open the book. Right, and to that understanding. It is written, it is Safewun, the book written inside.
That no man could read.
Yeah, they couldn't read it, but the Lion of Judah.
Yeah, read now.
And for sure it said, Chale, Yichlal, come from Chale, able and ability, and Astralau means God, the one who possessed the ability to open the book.
What will be the testament that is in the book? Because it has to be a New Testament, eh?
Yeah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, which contain the sayings of our Lord. That's what he had to do it because the establishment wasn't going to do it. The church was not doing it. That's the first part of the book of Revelations. They weren't doing it.
But they couldn't do it.
But
They didn't have the power nor the authority.
It wasn't given unto them.
So
Yes, sir.
so them shouldn't be translating the Bible without his spell check. You know so?
Yeah, truly.
Because them don't know what them are read. Sir.
Assessment.
Them don't know what them are read. They do not know what they read.
But you see, most of them to get get the translation from the Canaanite form.
Yeah, we want to go into that bigger.
And the Hebrew.
Yeah.
So naturally, that's why His Majesty said them things to upgrade.
Or did the Canaanites influence them while they are translating? Because you can't really translate it from their form.
Mm-hmm.
Their form is not really telling you anything. Their form did not record the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right? They only record certain things or write down certain things in their form.
Mm-hmm.
The Hebrew where them translate from is the real Hebrew. But with their influence, that means to them putting their mouth in it.
Mm-hmm.
Of which, what to do and what not to do. Yeah. You can't translate from theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Only from the Abegede one. That's the one, but they needed upgrading still. That's why they come back to the original place of the Hebrew. And he said they need to come to upgrade it. And you can see where Scofield, because Scofield, when he put together his study Bible in 1919 or 1909, right? That's when he did that. By the 1950s now, after the war and all that, when His Majesty, said they need to come and upgrade and so forth, most of the Bibles them would have been printed after that again. And you can see them, them steadfast in holding on to what they were doing. Because they did not make an effort to go and change around things. Even before that, they were too still. Because His Majesty was well influenced in the world of scholars and all that. So it was not like a secret thing. So them just kind of steadfast in their own way.
See how the Ethiopian them try to rob the child. Mr. Getachew Mekwen Hassan. Rasteferiyan. You just put Rasteferiyan Harar Bete Abatacho Gebi Bezemenu Benebarao. Metzefin Nit Sine Serhatna Weg Yezemenun Timrit Bebet Wust Gemaru. So that's just growing up in the palace, learning the procedures of the royal house, the prince, and the customs. So then he put, again, at 10 years, Sai Malacho, Be Amarinyana, Bege is Nibabna, Sifet, Tenikekau, Aweku. So that's just one line. One line bigger. So, most Ethiopians don't even, most of them never see Amharic, child. Me know that. And most people out in the world, if you say, okay, he knew Amharic, and if the expert will tell you, oh yes, he knew Amharic, I tend to leave it at that. But when you see what Amharic is,
The depth and height.
yeah, what did you know that at 10-year-old? Or the is the one from creation with the book was written in? Now good is it written in now?
It is too vast for anyone to comprehend about.
Or
A
Amharic.
10-year-old can directly have that capacity.
Thank you, Raja.
To teach.
I mean, it's
10-year-old.
it's not a height, it's the depth of which the whole thing, because Haile Selassie, in terms of
That's the language that we use to our foreparents.
in terms of recognizing him, he is with the waters. And which part you don't know about him is the depth, which is unsearchable, and you can't go.
That's what the Bible says.
That is Haile Selassie.
Revealed to us.
He is the depth of the holy waters.
Yes.
Which is the Procletus.
So you can't even get there.
You can get
Yes,
there, Raja. You can get there. He opened the book.
But yeah, but it's not a normal thing.
No, the child is not a 10-year-old. That's not normal.
In other words, this is which part of understanding is, because for your understanding to meet it, or for you to come to the level of the foundation,
You have to accept.
is the knowledge of the holy,
And you have to accept.
and this is where the door is.
Yeah, you have
Or
to
if
accept.
you don't have the understanding. If you're not going through that door,
But if you're not reading
Alright.
and these things like
Oh, okay. Me know say enough people when them have a 10-year-old child will play a piano, them shower them with love and gifts and
There's a big talent that too.
but
Either.
it's a big talent that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why does the Ethiopian Mr. Hassan?
Don't tell me we have no history. Don't tell me we have no philosophy. Don't tell me we have no song. Don't tell me we can come along. Don't tell me we have no king on the throne. Oh no.
The common one where the people them learn, what them call like Addis Ababa Amharic. Kwankwa, Newari Kwankwa.
Yeah.
You see Amharic, you know, I put the definition for Amharic up there.
Easy.
Yeah, I had to put some of it because I wanted to explain certain things and, you know, the Canaanite form of Hebrew, they're passing as Hebrew. And I know that that's not so because a real Hebrew language, it have to match Isaiah 11 where this speech is coming from, according to the 7 spirits of the Lord, you know, in the 7 vowel system, 7 columns, and of Revelation 1 verse 8. Because Alpha and Omega simply means, you know, is the name of God. And it means the Ge'ez Aleph Bet table from Aleph to Tau. And Tau is the redemption. That's why it resembles a cross.
So you get
Salvation.
Yes. Yeah.
so it's all
Tau resembles a cross.
Mhm.
And spell teacher and spell teaching.
Yeah. But unfortunately in the land of Egypt they think the last letter, Tau, is a magic symbol.
Salvation, enjoy that. Oh,
Yeah. They think the last letter, Tau, yeah, it's it, Tau. It resembles the cross for redemption.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's what I am, the Alpha and Omega is mean from Aleph to Tau. And from Ge'ez, right, to the 7 vowels across with the other 7 names of the Lord. From Ge'ez to Sebi. Those 7 vowels. That's how you know the difference between His Majesty's one which He gave to us and the Jews one. But they must say them can't find this, they don't have no J in it and they don't have this in it because it's an inferior alphabet. It doesn't belong to the God of Israel. It cannot show 7 vowels in 7 columns with the name of the God of Israel.
Handicap.
Right? You cannot show that. So the definition of Amharinia, that's the government form. Amharinia Fichman, this is the colloquial form Amharinia. The root is mare. Yeah, to forgive. To have mercy. To have compassion. And it's, you know, Mariam from Mare. That's the woman that carried mercy for 9 months. This is where, you know, the guy who confiscate your knowledge, he start to get angry. Yeah, Mariam carried the child me a mercy for 9 months. And when the child was born, you know, you say, yeah, Jesus, yes, Temar, Seraun, yes, Temar. There it of the like a noun ending to learn. Yeah, Mar Yemar is to learn or to teach, to study. Yeah. So that's the root of it, to teach with mercy and compassion.
Yes, Rabbi.
And that's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And then the other name for it is Lisane Ibrani, which is the Hebrew tongue, or what we were discussing the other day with the Hebrew verbs, or in the Ge'ez, written in the Ge'ez Fidel, and in the Ge'ez language for clear, Yetete Gwereme, for clear translation, to render clear translation, biblical translation, and for clear speech. So, you know, the speech of heaven is clear. Clear speech meaning when you're speaking, you don't have that. You don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what the Canaanite claim, the speech gives him away. Yeah, because the 7 Hebrew vowels travel through the passage, the air passage flow.
It has to be holy and pure and clean.
And they get blocked,
Yeah.
right? Because they can't represent the Lord, no matter what they must say. Not with a speech like that Amharic called Seyafu. You mean crude and learned speech.
Yeah,
Right? So, Lisan and Negus is the language of the king, Haile Selassie. And it is the Christian speech. All for the free people. Right? Bete Christian Kwankwa. And Ham means people, doesn't mean black. And Ham Ha means gift of God. And Neware Kwankwa is Amharic, the language of time immemorial. Newari means God, the eternal inhabitant, one who dwells eternally, or the eternal speech. Yeah. That's why what people are saying, Ham doesn't mean black. It means people. Like Hammersmith, Hampstead, the people of Hampstead, or Hamlet. Yeah, them get brainwashed with this black thing. Because, Ham means people and Kam is many people. Yeah, the plural for Ham. So this is somewhere black people need to learn and abandon strangers' propaganda. Got them to learn from His Majesty. And you see, here's the sticky point. But we find that the Ethiopian dictionary. Ketanashu neged keyoktan lijot bawala. Yetalak neged yefeleg lijot neged Abraham beigizau yetegwazu ke kene oretacho with the Ethiopia get to wall. The smallest tribe. From the smallest tribe, Teneshu Neged, Yoktan children. That's like the Tigrayan people, the Tigrayan Abesha people. And afterwards, the larger one, Neged Feleg Lijot. That's where the Israelite them come from. Okay, so those two people are the Hebrew family. The Tigrayan Amar Abesha, that's them. And from the time of Abraham, they traveled with their Old Testament laws, the Oritai or the Oris. They traveled with it. Kene Oretacho. And they went into Ethiopia, where the Ethiopia get to wall.
Oh, that's when Melchizedek came down there.
Yeah.
In that time of Abraham.
So I want the anthropologist show me where any of this tribe went to Europe. Is this where they Europe? Where the America? Where the Canada? Where any of them went there? I believe the Amharic narrative, Ethiopia history, is correct when it comes to the language. Because they have clear translation. Clear.
Sure.
Not foggy. And they don't have to dig up anthropological stones and they don't no digging. All you have to do is read.
Yes, because
what was recorded.
It's written down. Exactly. That's the whole thing about Ethiopian writing culture. It's surety. And like him say, clear and transparent from ages to ages. Come on, right down.
And that's all.
Yeah, when all other lose their cultural line, Ethiopia maintain hers through the alphabet system.
Yeah, but you see, people are claiming to be Hebrews, but they don't belong to this family. They all went to Ethiopia. And the reason why in Abraham's time the migration began is because of the Canaanites. They took over the land. They usurped Shem's land. Yeah, and set up for them thing in the build wall around Jerusalem when there was no wall. So Abraham began the migration from then all the way. But the Israelites them should never run away with the land. But nevertheless them run away. That's why the Lord had to born in the land. So he now becomes the claimant.
Yeah, the ear.
The one that can show, say, a free land. We can't do that. He can. And so the battle is on to discredit him, it no go so. Nobody no name Jesus. Yeah, I know all of that.
Jesus in the Hebrew.
Yeah, no, well, the reason why that alphabet system, see it here? This. This. Single column. When I talk about the Canaanite Hebrew, see there, it come from hieroglyphics. Doesn't come from heaven.
Which language did the Quran is under?
Arabic script, which is a Semitic language, a true Semitic language, because Arabic served Africa, Asia, and all the way into Russia. It teach the people to read and write when they didn't have a script.
But them
This
don't,
one,
them don't have to be called Afrikaans.
that's not the point I'm making.
I know that, but I tell you that.
Well, Arab is not a tribe. Arabic come from Ge'ez. Right? Whatever them are, because you have different kind of Arabs.
Yeah, I know.
The Arab them in the Middle East are Canaanites. Okay, you see, real Arab come from the Sudan. If you listen to them in the Sudan, their Arabic don't have the word and all of that in there. It have a smooth flow. I have Sudanese music. I listen to African music.
That's true.
Yeah, like we hear in the Middle East, that's bad speech. The Canaanite always have bad speech. That's how you know the difference. I remember a long time ago I was watching a debate somewhere about the Middle East and thing, and all those Arabs from, the Middle East was there, and they were all talking this and that. And then a short little black man from the Darfur Kordofan area, that's to the west, he began to speak in Arabic, and everybody was shocked. They all turned on with wide eye and open him, and I know because of his accent, he was speaking perfect Arabic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they speak in Africa. Different from over there. It's all become through culture and all of that. Yeah. Perfect Arabic. So the Kefli Kidani the dictionary didn't say that the Hebrew family went to Asia. It didn't say they went Europe.
Ethiopia.
It didn't say they went America. They all went to Ethiopia with the Bible ordinance, the Oritai, Kene Oretacho, from Aram, Orit, the Bible laws and things, like the book of Genesis, Orit Fitrit, Orit Zetzehat. Yeah. His Majesty, when he renewed Amharic, or the new Gete system, you can see that in the definition for here, this letter is called Hawui, Ha, and Ha. These two, you get is Werash, the Ruku when them not set, like the letters of the gender of the male and female. Yeah. Adam Ha, which is this one, with Hewan Ha, like in the Idawi Ha.
Okay.
Yeah. And your Christos Hoi, your Nigus Hoi, which is this one.
Yeah.
Even the Ethiopian have to admit that it stands for Jesus. Yeah, even they admit it.
Yeah.
Hosiana
Yeah.
to the sun. That's what Amharic is.
It's the joy of the world.
Yeah, but that's what Amharic is.
Yeah.
This is the Hebrew vernacular, the Hebrew verbs written with the Ge'ez fidels that come from heaven. Not these.
So H-O is for joy. Hoi.
Hoi, Hosanna.
For the joy.
Yeah. Of the king.
Yeah. Hoi.
And when the children sang that, there was no joy in Jerusalem. The priests and the official tell the Lord to tell the people them to shut up and stop singing that song. Just like how them don't like when we call His Majesty. I can't do weeds. I mean, how can, like, the oldest Christian nation in the world with this priesthood, how can you not know that the language of the king is the one that is called time immemorial? Newari Kwankwa. This is in the dictionary. It's in the Kebranaga, it's in the Keflikida Newaldi, and it's in the one dictionary called the name Wolf or Witch or something. It's in there.
It goes back to what you were saying. They just recite. They just recite the language. They don't actually know it.
And they call themselves the Church of Ethiopia, and they don't know that Newari Kwankwa, the language of time immemorial. Oh, okay. Would the speaker, no, we know so the language belongs to this king with this name, wouldn't it have the same age or immortal span as the speaker, the man who owned the language?
Exactly.
It would have the same time immemorial. He would have the same time immemorial, right?
Yeah, his reminiscence is different from everyone else.
So what I'm saying, them what them talk about him dead?
Them can't see what go on.
Them can't see what because they're not able, Roger.
Way forward.
Why they talking these bringing death? Why they bringing all of that? Alright, I wanna read what they say about Hebrew from a dictionary. This they call this Hebrew. The black Jew them can't find G in it. No wonder, look at that. Those are hieroglyphics. Those are not alphabets. And they made these ones from there. So in here they said Hebrew is the language in which most of the Old Testament, right, in the Bible was written. It was the language of the Jewish people after they left Egypt, where they had been slaves and settled in the land of Canaan, part of Palestine on the eastern shores of the Mediterranean. A somewhat different form of Hebrew is the language of the modern country of Israel. The Hebrew language is one of the Semitic languages. These languages are spoken by Semitic people, those who trace their origins to Shem, one of the sons of Noah. The Arabs are Semites, and Arabic is one of the Semitic languages. Hebrew is one of the Canaanite form of the Semitic language. What is wrong with this picture?
Something missing.
So he's going around a academic twist and turn. If it's one of the Canaanite form, then how? Yeah, and Canaan is the son of Ham, right? Canaan is so it couldn't be a Semitic language.
Right. You're just taking your own trauma.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm hoping that you get confused there.
Yeah.
Remember, you know, all the Hebrew family went to Ethiopia. Ask the Tigrians, ask the Amharic. This is their history. Yeah. Joktan and Peleg are the sons of Hebor the Hebrew. What am I talking about?
And they are the only ones that have a history written where they have a migration of people with the Old Testament.
Yes.
You find that nowhere else in
Exactly.
all the history. So it shows what His Majesty say, you know, when he wrote the introduction for the very said Bible, which made them begin to read now. Because since them couldn't read before, right, and now they can read since he printed. He said inside there where is Ethiopia being an island of Christianity is the first to have recorded all this. It dragged my mind when Abraham was going back there with the book.
Yeah.
He took me back into that time.
Exactly.
So he knows what he said. He's not no just making
Because of the Canaanites.
Yeah. Remember their
Read, you see that war in Genesis 14? When the kings are there, Amraphel, you know, and of Elam and the king of Shadalemar and Tidal, king of nation, they went against the 5 kings of the Canaanites. It's because they had usurped the land that was covered into Hashem. You see, the Middle East is ancient Ethiopia. That's what they don't want to admit. Right? And the 7 covenants, that was the book that was sealed with 7 seals. That's the 7 covenants God made with Ethiopia. And the first one, that's why we say he had to be born in the land right, to say, yes, I am the son of Abraham, I am the son of Isaac, I am the son of Jacob, it's my land, I am the heir.
Come fulfill David Jones.
Yeah, I am the heir to the land. Only he can say that. It's written all in a newspaper. Yeah, it's in newspaper. It's public knowledge. It's not nothing where hidden. It's a guy named illiteracy wants to snatch it from you. Yeah. But show me where the Hebrew family went anywhere else but Ethiopia.
Them sit down in South Africa, some of them.
Yeah, well, that's the ones who without the Bible. Because most of Shem's children, all of them live in Africa. Except for Elam, which is the people, the Tamil Elams in Asia. Them and the Cushite, the rest of the Cush's children. Elam is the first son of Shem. That's the Elamites.
Even so, eventually it's spread out in Africa.
Yeah.
Them came through Ethiopia way.
So what
And then they
about,
spread out into the rest of part of Africa as they begin to descend away and fight away and so forth. Yeah, I read that. And in any way you could have come over there. So it had set part. And
So
the
they-
same part where them travels with them come. So it's through Ethiopia into Africa.
So the Amharic, them now, they're from the Middle East.
Yeah.
Middle East.
That's what them. You see that video there where the about the Hausa migration.
Yeah.
And you see the map where them show you. And the Nigerian narrator said he didn't know that Hausa and they came from Eritrea and all these places. He was surprised. I'm glad Africans start with them research properly. Because His Majesty been trying to tell them from a long time that they are Ethiopians.
But even listen to the same video, the music when you hear it up there, you could hear the
Yes.
song,
And the
you
dance.
hear the tongue,
Yeah.
you hear the speech,
Yeah.
you hear his, you can hear it.
But then I saw another video. One day we have to put it up with the Jewish girl now. She was trying to counter what the Nigerian brother was saying. Because when he said that the language of the Hausa and the thing that is related to Amharic and Somali, that means what they're speaking is not Arabic. If it's related to Amharic, it's Hebrew. And if it's related to Somali, that's the Arabic part. But the Jewish girl, no, she jumped on the camera and she show a map and say, but it's related to Hebrew and Amharic. And when she showed Hebrew, she showed this,
Canaanite form.
the Canaanite form.
We're trying to work.
Yeah, and I'm kind of tired of them people trying to.
No, but hold up on, that's what they do. With all these talking around, that's what they do. The facts are there because Kepler is not no silly. He's known in the world in scholars and known for for his legitimacy in his work and in his knowledge of Amharic. See, but these guys always love to come on and try to overtalk you.
Facts is there and then
By just putting things out there and hoping that, but you've seen it all the time and and just don't pay attention and believe that. That's all they're doing. It's nothing else inside there.
Well, there's the one who could have.
That's why it's important that we learn. Because if we weren't learning, you might have get taken away there.
Yeah.
But since we are learning now, we have something. That's how Amharic becomes our stronghold and our backbone. Against invasion like that. Because them invading Ethiopia. Because I know what they're doing. They're going around and telling the tribes them all these things, and trying to keep them in a backward state. With all the anthropologist business over there, so that them can make money off of that.
Well, remember, said the dragon couldn't overthrow the man-child, so he went to make war with the remnants.
Yeah, to cut off education.
Yes.
Right, and cut off them that have the testimony.
Yeah. You see-
try to flood out
Yeah, right.
propaganda.
Right.
Yeah.
You remember this? The black Jews, I should say the black Nignog and Negro Jews. Right? You remember this? Look how them put a black face of His Majesty. Them a belittle the Prime Minister of Canada. Them go find one, the black and white minstrel things.
Let me start again.
See that? The black Jew them in Canada, in Toronto, do this. Because they're trying to find out is Haile Selassie the Christ.
But they
But
didn't have to maliciously do it like that.
maliciously do it like that. Does Haile Selassie really look like blackface?
Yeah.
And black people are complaining about blackface.
Yeah.
What credibility do they have? You have credibility, black boy, when you do this in the name of I who die and is him, because them don't have a G in their letter to say Jesus.
Yeah, and
They can't say Jesus. They can't say Yeshua. They can't call the Hebrew name Yeshua or the good is Jesus. But black boy see I'll put jail number.
Yeah.
Like, as a mugshot. And then them are complaining about blackface. White people nothing listen to them. But listen to a child. So how come nobody no call this anti-Semitism? Where is the screams? Where are the shouts?
Because he is.
Yeah. Look what they do to the educator.
Yeah, know that realize he is the Semitic man with the Semitic language. Yeah,
That's
so
how
how
you're going to define
how come they don't
that
scream
term.
out anti-Semitism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are
And
you,
plus,
are you being one-sided now or trying to be some other way?
Yeah, but you can buzz anti-Semitic when you're not Semitic.
yeah,
Because for a long time they were doing that.
Yeah.
Until we
Yeah, so what they
know
call it
what
then?
to
What kind
say.
of action is
Yeah, you're a
that?
Canaan.
But what kind of action is that then when you're
Yeah.
trying to say
That-
something that you're not? What kind of action is that?
That's perjury.
Trying to
appropriation.
fool. Yeah. Cultural
impersonating.
And religious.
Yeah, impersonation. There's many laws that you could be charged for.
Because Ashkenaz is the son of Japhet. They're Germanic Jews. And the Yiddish, they're part of the High German. Just
And
look
they
at
know
the
they are.
randomized language chart
Yeah.
of the English language. It tells you who they are. So when that girl is coming there to refute the Nigerian perfect narrative, tracing back those people, the people and the most numerous people in Africa, are the Israelites. With all those cattle, see Jacob cattle amongst them.
Yeah,
See the Spanish cattle them when take from Laban, when he run with Laban daughter.
Yeah, how come it's only there if you find those cattle? How come you don't find them down there in Jerusalem down there? Yeah, how come you don't find the Israel cattle down there
And
you
the
find
flat tail
over
sheep.
there?
Tell me, what are we without a religion? What are we without a culture? What are we without a language?
Language, and it's not Hebrew. Canaan is the son of Ham. And maybe we should read the Bible to show them who exactly is the Canaanites and why Noah cursed them. Let me just give Karen, let me read. Let me know who Canaan is. Canaan, Tyre and Zidon are the children of Heth. Heth the Hittite. Heth is the first son of Canaan. And in Ezekiel 27, it says, and say thus to Tyrus, which is Tyre, O thou that art situated at the entry of the sea, which are a merchant of the people for many isles. Thus saith the Lord, O Tyrus, thou hast said, I am of perfect beauty. Sin number 1.
Perfect.
Yeah. Then, in Ezekiel 28, when the Lord rebuked the Canaanite, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, and I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the sea, yet thou art a man and not God. Though thou set man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. That's what Canaan did. That's why Noah cursed him. Yeah, he said, I am God.
Yeah.
And he used to be in Eden and the garden. That's why Noah cursed Canaan. It have nothing to do with the color. But true black people don't read, and everybody jumpy. Ham doesn't mean black. Ham means people.
Right.
Yeah, and Cam.
So there goes the alphabet C being out here.
Nation.
Yeah, Kam in Hebrew and Ge'ez, it means people. Like Amharic, the language of the free people.
Well,
Right? Or in Hammersmith or Hamlet, a village. Doesn't mean black. Them stupid. Them learn to read. And they need to be rebuked. And then them use this black thing to accuse other people of not liking them because them black. And because curse of Ham, not no gossip.
All because them lack the knowledge of more than but they lack the knowledge of the alphabet system, you know, that they were brought there with from, you know, whether Ethiopia with the Old Testament. Yeah, they lack the knowledge of that, so they went away from they went away from that knowledge.
Gods.
Because them start to follow the Canaanites.
Right.
And even when, in the time of Joshua, when the Lord tell them to get rid of the Canaanites, don't trouble the woman, leave the spoil, they did the opposite.
Yes.
Them fly down upon the spoil, grab up the woman them, and that's why you have certain people now can claim, say, them are Israelite.
Yes.
And to come down to their land,
Right.
them are use blood tests and DNA
Right.
because they knew from the time when Sechem, you know, dying of the stupid Israelite daughter of Jacob, go mingle with the daughters of the land.
She was
And when Sechem got bed her down and
Made a mistake.
she couldn't leave the house.
To get caught up.
He ravaged her and
He
she couldn't leave
ravaged
the
her.
yard until Simeon and Levi went there and do the
Yeah.
proper thing.
That was very rude.
No,
That was cruel of them.
It wasn't cruel of them.
Because everything
No,
the
well,
Lord
no.
And everything is cruel.
Israel
Yeah, but they pay
yeah.
for what they did though.
Yeah, but
on,
it's
you
best
do
to
it
stick
and
to your own
Yeah.
and watch who is coming
It is.
into
It
your
is.
family to claim your inheritance.
Yeah.
That's what it comes
Yeah,
down
yeah, for
to.
your inheritance.
That's
matter.
why I said the Bible is a guidance to your future.
Okay, so where does the Israelites stand?
From
Them no want to learn Amharic
Yeah.
because them say a guy I talk about Amharic can't save your life. One fat dread pan the radio talk about a semantics. Yeah, where does it stand? Yes, them would have believe. They would have believe
Language.
the Canaanites.
they would believe the Canaanites
Yeah.
because Mira brother pan the radio come talk about no Jesus or a Yahshua or Yahshua.
Yeah, him not know.
He doesn't know.
I think it's because lack of knowledge. They don't
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Alright,
Have the true
Well,
knowledge.
no, okay. But
Yeah.
language
No,
is very
here again,
important.
one more time.
Important.
Knowledge is a treasure
Yeah.
that must be grasped and which no one can confiscate. That's why in the Revelation it says, make sure no one take your crown.
Yeah.
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 Nobody can take away this from you.
Yeah, they can't take it away. No matter what they want to talk or scream anti-Semitism. And them are the anti-Semite because they fight against this. And they're the seed of Ham, the one them who say them are God. They're the merchant of the people.
Yeah.
Them run the trade system. They run the trade system.
Yeah, they do.
The ear, the rail, the seed.
So
Trading,
Zaydan and the
trading.
same Zim.
No, but it's not no secret. Their names are on the container.
That's what I
But it's just that most people don't pay attention to the names.
They do a lot of
So it's not like you talk something
No.
secretive or something.
No.
The names are
Yeah.
right there on the container. We see them right in the back there.
Exactly.
They are the merchant of the people.
Right. So they don't carry them names with them.
Yeah. So in all truth, that language is just a market language.
Right. That's what it is. It's a marketing language.
Yeah.
Not for biblical things.
Yeah.
Not for explaining the Bible.
Well,
That's why these ones carry that. These ones, if a Puritan they carry is with their Bible. That's the
Yeah.
culture they carry.
Can you hurry touch?
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Not no Queen of Heaven business. It's with their Bible. Them went there from Abraham time.
ancient Bible culture.
Yeah.
Yes. From Aram,
Yeah,
from Ori.
So that's how you know the
about.
difference with being at the Semitic
Yeah, but the Bible, the Semitic man has the Bible.
Yeah.
And the Bible with the
and
language.
the message.
Yeah, that recorded it from, earlier than most of the countries of the world, as them say.
Yeah.
He's the first to have
Yeah.
recorded it that way.
But the word,
That's what it is
the
there.
word Hebrew it means actually light. And better, one who has the light. The Burhan.
Education.
Burhanu, the light of of light, which is Christ. And that's the title he has on the throne.
Yeah.
Burhanu Alem, the light of the world. Because he gave them this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And don't let the guy confiscate it.
That's why he named his first printing press Burhan and Salam.
Yeah.
And it's in that same printing press they bring back one paper that
There's
give
only
you
one
the account of
There's only
the
one.
that give you the account of the birth of the child and tell you that it's the most important celebration of Ethiopia because without it you will not have any other of the feasts them that they had after. That means it began with the child.
Yeah.
All the feasts, like the feast of the Meskel, all them something so is based upon him because they said in that paper they will not be able to have these ones without this. So we must keep this every year.
Yeah.
It's the duty of an Ethiopian to keep the birth of His Majesty. It's not just no simple birth.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a sacred thing.
Right. Especially unto Ethiopia, it's the birth of her. They tell you that she was born with him.
Yeah.
Just like the 87 Psalms is with him.
Himself,
Right, it's with Ethiopia. This man was born there with Ethiopia. She was born there with him.
Yeah, the union.
Right,
Like a herald.
Yeah.
It's like
that
a
rising up
herald.
there, that resurrection of her from
A continuous
that
Yeah.
thing there, that
Well-
that time of her.
an association.
Right.
Because that's why we have to give thanks for the free-born child.
Yes. Yes.
Free,
Right,
Born
the
free,
child of
born
Ethiopia.
free.
yeah, born
Yeah.
free of sin, the first fruits of
Yes.
Christ.
Yes.
And that's why Ethiopia is able to enrich the world with the Christian knowledge
Yes.
and
Yes.
the Christian teachings. Because, as we can see from
The
here,
Open.
this is heraldry,
Yes.
into the world with the Bible, Alpha, Omega. So, and carrying the cross of victory,
True.
all the who else could have brought this out?
Yeah.
The child that was caught up to the throne of God,
Yeah.
and he had the name that no man knew but he himself, and that name that is
Yeah.
revealed unto us today.
Because that's his personal heraldry.
Yeah.
That is not the heraldry for would you say it's not the heraldry like it is for David the comes with
No, it's
No.
for him and
No,
Ethiopia.
it's for
Yeah,
him
but
and-
because this was not known. Well, they did the meaning and the significance of this did not come to fruition until November 2nd, 1930.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because the and actually I would say worldwide November 2nd, but before I would say it is 1924, because in 1924 is when His Majesty established the name Ethiopia in the League of Nations. So the world
Yeah.
knew her
And he would
officially
have to
as
present that.
Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That heraldry would have to be presented.
Exactly, as part of where he's coming from and when we're in his
Kingdom of the
country.
Lord. Yeah.
Just like the Brethren was saying, he had to be born there so he can make the claim
Yes.
so that nobody else can say,
Yes.
after them one.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for them
And now
cousin
here
land
comes
and
the-
them something.
Yeah.
Here comes the rightful as I said in the Bete Mengis, shall not depart until the lawgiver comes into office.
Scepter.
We see all these things happen. The lawgiver came into office, sitting, with
education,
full
yeah.
authority,
Balance.
which was given unto him, as Revelation said.
Yeah.
All power and authority was given unto him.
Yeah.
This child.
Yeah.
So
Ordering the government upon the throne of
On
David.
his
yes, and the
shoulders.
government shall be upon his shoulders. And from Isaiah, talking, and it goes, it would go back from the New Testament, from after the resurrection, would I say, because he gave the name. He said, as in like manner he shall come again,
Teach.
and he gave them, baptized them in my name, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So from that time they got So when it come now, it shouldn't be, I guess
The house of David shouldn't be shut.
Yeah, people shouldn't be shy. Shouldn't be,
especially the priesthood.
yeah,
They
and
shouldn't
our
be.
people, the Israelites,
Yeah,
shouldn't have any problem with it, but they shun it,
Because of them level, them do have the
Them do have
understanding.
the-
Because even that way you took the idea a while ago, it's coming from the Bible.
Yeah.
But no one bring it forth until His Majesty.
because it belongs to him. Nobody else can bring it forward.
Well, it's just that the Brethren
Melanie
said
couldn't
is
bring
it, all that knowledge is to come out of the scripture then. His Majesty actually brought those things up.
forefront.
Yes.
Yes, he brought it out. You didn't know the Bible as you knew it now.
True.
And Bible wasn't so popular with everybody as you knew it in the time of His Majesty.
Yeah.
When even you go you go on vacation, you go in a hotel room or a motel room, you have a testament put down there for you. It's in His Majesty time those things was stuck off, because when he energized the Christian faith. He went out into the world and energized them. He never separated them or judged them one against the other like that. He energized them, being the person of Christ. Only Christ can do that. You don't take no brain surgeon or someone, whatever them call it, to figure that out. It's only the one with the spirit of Christ, as the Lutheran said. Christ lived in a man and a nation. His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I, the Emperor of Ethiopia.
Yes.
So them just need to clear them conscience.
All right, I want to give a praise unto education. You know. I need to clear the blackboard. No, not this blackboard. I'm going to read from...
Come to it's okay.
I'm going to read from the Zewitter Salat. I just want to read the introduction. Seifi Selassie Zewitter and Amlak Demihon Be'abdawul Bementis Kidus Amnalehu Imatsenalehu. I have the strength and I have the faith. Yeah, and I believe in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, the one God. And on verse 37, I'm going to define what Amharic is. Okay, Afu bemi weta, ye isat seif ye tilatin wetmed ashekala, imiya korareti, the melekote ab wewuldi wememphes kidus, imatsinalehu. Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Dalet, He, Waw, Ze, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Non, Samket, He, Fe, Sade, Kof, Res, San, Tau, Bemi, Bal. Lu, Be Abol, de Bemen, Feskido, Sim, Yamenko, Abetu, Hamlaki, Hoy, Liminaye, Vedante, Tikarib, Zendi, Imatsenalehu. So, the Aleph Bet, this is to the wet made from his mouth, Isaf saved, that is the sword, the two-edged sword of Revelation chapter 1, and is to cut down Satan, to trap him with the made and to tie him down a shekla and to Yemiya Korareti, to cut him in pieces. That's to Satan. And the sword, the Melekote, the divine sword of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That's the strength. And that's in the alphabet, which is the 119 Psalms. Yeah. Don't tell them how to do it until them learn. Don't tell none of them. When they learn the alphabet properly, as a kindergarten child, and stop fight against Amharic, then they can learn how to keep away Satan. Or you stay under him if you don't want to learn. If you learn, you can manage this sword and defeat. You can tie him down, you can bind him, Shekla, and you can cut him down with this Aleph, Bet, Gamel. You can do it. Don't tell them until them come a class. True. They are from their own class.
Because when you were saying that, what come to me is like, you just see him get bind up. You just say the word, just say bind him up. And can't move.
Okay, so that is the meaning of the 22 letters of the alphabet, of the 119 Psalms. You can't say that, because Aleph is the law of God. That's the first letter, Aleph, and then Bet, Gamel, Dalet. It's the power of the cross. And it's saying, written in perfect Hebrew, not I who die and is him. One of the things I'm glad for I read in the Bible is that there shall be no more Canaanite in the house of the Lord. So they're on their way out, and all who follow them, they're trying to take away our Hebrew culture. None of the Hebrew family went anywhere else but Ethiopia. Why should they go anywhere else with the Bible equipment and laws and things? They have to go to the foundation of the Lord. His foundation is in the holy mountain.
Yes.
The Lord loved the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Why? Because the Canaanites. It's because of them.
Now leadership.
Yeah, that's why the Lord said he abhorred Jacob's dwelling and him ransom him, like get the family out of there. But he had to be born in the land with the last part of the family, Joachim's house where Mary and them come from, and perform that salvation. The last letter of the girls' alphabet is how? Redemption. Yes, Israel, yeah, to bring redemption. Not just for Israel, but for mankind. That is the meaning of the alphabet. When them teach us the alphabet actually means Jesus Christ. Revelation 1 verse 8. When them things say Alpha and Omega is.
Please.
Well, as I said, that it brings us, as we're talking about the child, we can go back to the first Advent, when when Jesus, Jesus went to school to learn his letters. And he woke up on a so-called, learned rabbi. Well, the first one that he went to, he recognized the speech. When he asked him to say Aleph, and Jesus said, first tell me the meaning of the letter Aleph, and I will pronounce, Aleph. And the master, realized and said that, I believe that this boy was before Noah, and he explained to him why certain letters went there, why some had, why they were, and
Still explain grammar like
give him,
grammar lesson.
Exactly. Give him a kindergarten. Lesson. But the latter, rabbi was very, presumptuous. He probably had a
so Virgin had an experience like that. When in the workforce, I used to go to deliver to this place, and every time I go there, I notice one of the Iwoodians, he had the skull cap and all the strings around him, and he wasn't even the dock foreman or anything. He was just a worker in the receiving department. The warehouse, but he was treating the other worker them horribly. And I always notice that when I go there. But some, I always see him kind of look for me. And, I say, all right. So one day he came up to me when, him come take off somebody load off of the truck. And he came up to me and he asked me, who am I, about the Star of David and things. And I told him, if you can tell me the first meaning of the Hebrew alphabet, I'll tell you who I am. And he looked at me with like a surprise. And he couldn't say nothing. And then him said to me, he doesn't know, but he thanked the Ethiopians for teaching them. And I said for a minute. And then he turned and walked away in a frustration. And I said, which Ethiopian? And he said, it's the Falashas that's teaching them. They're Falasha teach and bread. And they cannot explain the meaning of the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet. What do they call the Hebrew alphabet anyway? I don't call the Canaanite Aleph. I don't call that the first letter. I don't call it that. Because Kefli Kidaniwal, they have it. Aleph, how we do it. Aleph is the Aleph here, the first fiddle. And him give it these definitions. Aleph is given these definitions, like Yefidel Hulu Ras, the head of all the letters, Bikwer Kedemai, Hulu Ras Kedemai, firstborn of all the letters, and then Mejmaria, all that definition for the first letter, Fidel, Aleph. first day.
Sound like you're talking about a person.
He could.
Firstborn.
Yeah. I had.
Father
Yeah.
Yeah, father.
of the
Yeah, and then
So like God and humanity,
Yeah.
like like God and man and people.
Yeah, but that's why the word is.
That's what it sounds like. The
Yeah,
explanation, the
separate.
definition of them, I mean, it sounds like that.
Yeah, because
It sounds like you're defining God and humanity.
Truly, and when you
And it's perfect, in its perfection.
yeah, but there's no other letters that you would define like that.
Right, I'm not saying it like that.
Because it have two names.
Yeah.
Ge'ez and Aleph. It have two names. No other letter have two names.
You don't explain French like that. You
Yeah.
don't explain Italian like that.
You don't
Not
explain
even the English
the
language.
Greek
explain
letter
it.
like that.
Right.
No.
No,
But
you
in
don't.
the religious sense, so it means Alpha means Jesus. But it doesn't carry the same definition as this. This have two names. Ge'ez, the inverse of Ge'ez is Igzi, which is Lord Jesus. And Aleph, Ab, Welde, Memphis Kidus.
So Aleph
But
is,
Or-
it's funny, you
Aleph
know,
is
how
Ge'ez.
people can't connect.
and it is
You
Christ.
said something a while ago. People can't connect like the alphabet. And in the Bible, he said he's Alpha.
He is the first
So how
letter.
they can't connect like the language and him, like he is the language.
Yes, it's almost like them running away from
Yes.
it, don't it? Because them,
Because
you can
it's
clearly see
clearly-
alpha and alphabet is
Of
related.
course.
So if them not connecting it, you can see them actually really,
It's him.
really trying to run away from it.
Yeah, but this is sister, they have to be resurrected.
Well,
Okay, because you see, His Majesty, somebody who come up with a brilliant idea. I love this. The giving king, right? What he gave to his people, and he gave
with this
the people an alphabet system. As him say, our forefathers left us a heritage of a
Greatest
written
gift.
alphabet, right? So the Ethiopian actually they gave us this, yeah. It was a gift from them, and this is the one that His Majesty gave me. I had to do some work. I had to work for this, and I made it. The reason why I made it, because when I started as a kindergarten Amharic student, I couldn't find any alphabet chart that was complete. And when I grew to the stage of reading and I got my Bible, the Amharic Bible, which is this one, I love this picture. So that's why I did this like this. I sat on my window and said the lights.
Original.
Yeah,
I have a big one I framed.
yeah, that's my Amharic Bible.
It's nice.
Right?
I have a big one I framed.
Yeah, that's my Amharic Bible.
It's nice.
Right? And when I started to read, and I noticed a whole lot of difference of things, right? But I made the chart. I had the Amharic Bible. The dictionaries they had on the charts they had couldn't. I noticed that what is written in the Amharic Bible wasn't in those little dictionaries, and it wasn't in the chart. So I needed something that could give me a clear translation of the Amharic Bible, a dictionary that have all the words and things. So I needed a book like that, and I didn't know where to go. But when I had my Bible, I met this Ethiopian lady. Her name is Beautiful. yeah, Beautiful.
What's
Rubit.
your name? Oh.
Yeah, Beautiful. And she gave me beautiful advice. She actually saw my frustration and my doubt, and she rebuked it. I tell the story already. She rebuked my doubts and tell me to keep reading and the meaning will come. And I left from her present to her store, and I went to the main library downtown because it was closed. I went there because I said I didn't have anything to lose anyway. I didn't want to deal with Rastas, or I got tired of them. And I went to the library and I saw this book. I think it was the second or third book that I picked up, because I said I need something to keep on. I'm following what you tell me. Keep reading and the meaning will come. Right, so I'm following her advice. And the third book or second book that I look into, I open it and I saw His Majesty in the library with an open book in his hand. And I said, well, this must make good reading material. And I photocopied just a few pages for go and go practice. And when I read When I started to read, yeah, Besame, Xavier, Yahu, Mehari, when Mr. Sahil, what he did, Melakat, Hail, Wesilusi, Akal. Yeah, I just put on everything and I went back to the library. Yeah, and I started photocopy the whole thing until Kamal, when we had the class, and Kamal got Ethiopia and find the book and as him make we have the copy. Yeah, that's all, because if he didn't open the book, we wouldn't have had the Kid and the Wally, because that's one of the books that he opened. The book where Ezekiel lock off. Yeah, when him tell Ezekiel to lock off the book, them a worship the God in the east and all them things there. Yeah, the book, the Kefli Kid and the World is made from Ezekiel's Debdabe, like the epistles of Ezekiel, and this one is about the verbs and the grammars and the letters and the migration of tribes and things, and His Majesty opened that. He called that priest Aleka Kidani Waldi from Jerusalem. He wasn't living amongst the warlike Abyssinians. No, you can't study amongst people like that. It's like living amongst the Jamaicans. Yeah, the same attitude. Yeah, and he called Kefli to please help him and come and translate the letters of Ezekiel, and that's how you get the first Ethiopian Ge'ez to Amharic dictionary, because only Amharic can explain the Ge'ez language. And that was one of the first things our Ethiopian teacher told us when we learned, the one who teach us the sound, Taish. Yeah, if you know Amharic, you'll know Ge'ez. But the church treats it like it's two different languages. It's not two different languages. It's father and son working here. With the Memphis kid who's leading the way. That's the nature of Amharic. And they won't tell you that. And I don't like when like the Jewish people try to explain Amharic, and just like the girl will try to rebuke the Nigerians' testimony that the Hausa Fulani language is related to Amharic, but enough people don't know that Amharic is the Hebrew verbs written in the Ge'ez Fidels. Enough people don't know that, or people are not taught that. We were supposed to be taught that. That's why His Majesty sent even the church to Jamaica.
That's right.
He never sent them there to change Rasta.
So why you don't encourage the African now and tell him that now?
Yeah. That's not why he sent them there. He sent them there to teach us this. And he told our people to put this in their schools and university from 1922. But them not learn bigger. They make the anthropologists come on and say black people can't learn. Them have the chip missing in them brain.
Tell me, what are we without the religion? What are we without the culture? What are we without the language? What are we?
No, you can't study amongst people like that. It's like living amongst the Jamaicans. Yeah, the same attitude. Yeah, and he called Kefli to please help him and come and translate the letters of Ezekiel. And that's how you get the first Ethiopian Ge'ez to Amharic dictionary, because only Amharic can explain the Ge'ez language. That was one of the first things our Ethiopian teacher told us when we learned. The one who teach us the sound, Taish. Yeah, if you know Amharic, you'll know Ge'ez. But the church treats it like it's two different languages. It's not two different languages. It's father and son working here. With the Memphis kid who's leading the way. That's the nature of Amharic. And they won't tell you that.